All right, special guest in studio, Jay Norvell, Colorado State football head coach. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good to see you, man. We're happy you're making the rounds here in Denver. Just talk about the excitement that you have for the upcoming season for you guys in year 2 of the Norvell era.
Yeah, it's just so exciting. We have so many new players. Last year we had brought in 30 new kids. And last season we only played with 55 scholarship players. So to bring in a class of 49, which was the top class in the Mountain West, and we've really improved our depth and competition at every position. We're a full inch taller at every position across the board. Guards, tackles, D-line, linebackers, tight ends. And so we just look like a completely different football team. We're really excited to go to work.
Yeah, you talk about last season, right? So much learning for you, for the players. How much will you use that this season as sort of motivation, learning tool type thing?
Well, we talked about that when we first started training camp. You know, part of the growth of a program is sometimes taking those lumps and understanding and learning from them and growing from them. And, you know, we were kind of like the young kid on the playground last year, especially offensively. We had so many young players, young receivers, freshman quarterback, freshman receivers. And we had to kind of take our medicine, you know, as our youth movement moved on. But we should be much better for that. We brought in a lot. We brought in 12 new offensive linemen, a lot of veteran guys, bigger tight ends, and some veteran running backs. And so that experience, along with those new players, should really help us this year as we go into year 2.
First scrimmage has been completed. That was the first day in pads for you guys. Talk about what it was like just to see your guys in pads and going hard.
It
like
was
that.
great, and you know, I just was kind of hoping we can get through it. We had 95 snaps, kind of an old school scrimmage. Wanted to see guys block and tackle, and really wanted to see our new players. You know, as a head coach, you just want to get through those scrimmages healthy to the season, and I think we saw what we needed to see from guys yesterday. I don't know that we'll do another scrimmage like that, to be honest with you. We just want to get our kids to the field, but we needed to tackle, we needed to block, and we needed that work.
Everybody talks about the quarterback, Clay, rightfully so. He was really good last year. Torrey Horton, one of the best wide receivers in the conference, maybe the best. But I'm hearing a lot about Kobe Johnson, your running back.
Yeah.
Talk to me about him a little bit.
Well, we have 3 transfer players from North Dakota State. Kobe Johnson has rushed for 2,500 yards at North Dakota State, really a veteran player that's helped them win championships. He's a great addition to our offense. Tony Pierce is a defensive end, and Dom Jones is a corner. Really talented, athletic guys. We're really fortunate to get those 3 quality players on our team.
When you look back to when you first got to CSU and now you're here, what is that change like? Just seeing it, and that was only, you know, almost 2 years ago.
It's like building a house, really. I mean, it's you got to build a foundation, and then you start adding to it. And you know, it doesn't happen right away. You know, you can't really flip a roster in one recruiting class. But that's the joy for me. I love seeing the pieces come together. I love adding players and seeing them mature. And there's just an excitement when it all starts to come together. And I think we're going to have one of those exciting years in Fort Collins.
Conference realignment is a big topic right now in college football, college athletics. Where do you see CSU fitting?
I think we're in a great place. I really do. You know, I think the Mountain West is a great conference. I think we play with a lot of great teams. But I also think that the future looks great for us. I think we'll have an opportunity, if there is movement, that will be a part of it. And, you know, and I also know this, that the winner of our league is probably going to have a chance of playing the Fiesta Bowl this year. And so we want to be that team. You know, we want to keep improving and fighting for that championship. Next year, the college football playoff is expanded to 12 teams. And so it's more about us building our team for the long term. We're recruiting a lot of great high school players. I believe that's the best way to build a program for the long haul. And we want to be one of those top teams that can be in that playoff.
When you walk around Fort Collins, when you walk around Colorado in general, can you sense a hunger for Colorado State football to get back to winning ways? Can you sense
no
that?
doubt. And that's why we came here. You know, we love the city. We love the facilities. We love the school. And people have worked really hard to make that a winning environment. And we want to bring the players in and develop those players at a championship level. And so the fans are hungry. The student body is hungry. We're hungry. And we're very prideful. We want to put together a football program that everybody at CSU can be proud of.
If you could say one thing that I want to see that's different from last year, what would that one thing be?
I want to see us grind as a team. I think the way college football is, there's so much parity that you have to have a group of guys that really believe in each other, and they got to go out and grind every week to win games. It's not easy. It's tough business we're in. But I really love our kids. You know, we have a blue-collar history at CSU. We're a blue-collar program, and that's what our kids have done. They just practice. They work. There's not a lot of drama, and that's the way we like it. And I think we're going to see great results from it.
Talk about the blue collar, man. The blue shirt. The blue shirt is such a famous thing with you.
Yeah.
You wear it to every single practice. Are you happy that that sort of has come to Fort Collins and shown as well?
It's a reminder. You know, I want to remind the kids. You know, I came from a blue collar town in Madison, Wisconsin. And then my neighbor who was blue collar. There's just something about getting up and going to work every day and putting the time in and doing what you need to do to be good. And it's a reminder, you know, this game is not about what's on Instagram and all the flash and the glitz. It's about what happens with a group of guys on the field. And you have to put in work to do that. And that's something that our kids are appreciating. They're understanding it. And hey, we made some mistakes last year. We have to learn from those mistakes, and we can't do it again. And I think that's the great thing about these kids is that we're on the right path because we're taking that information we had a year ago and we're using it to our advantage now.
You know, guys like Torrey Horton has talked about why he wanted to stay, right? After a tough season last year, a really good player, maybe could have went to some other schools. He wanted to stay because of you, because of the relationship that he has with you, that you have with other kids. Sort of like a father figure. You're checking in on them outside of football. How much has that played into your coaching style?
We're so close to our kids, you know, and, you know, I know some people didn't really understand when we came from Nevada. We had a lot of kids come follow us. We're very close to these kids, and some of these kids were as close as any of their family members. Torrey's like a part of my family. Love that kid. And I think college football is really special when players and coaches work together. That's the special thing. And I got a group of coaches that all have that mentality, and we're very close to our players. I see our team getting very close. You know, and in college football, you got to have talent, you got to have experience, and you got to have chemistry. And that's what we've worked so hard. I think we have talent, we're gaining experience, and we're really working on the chemistry to bring this team together so we can fight through those tough games.
Yeah, and Jack Howell kind of talked about that too. He said you had it last year, it kind of broke off when people started leaving, so you feel a little bit stronger about what you have going on this year.
I think the kids that we brought in want to be here. They came here for a reason, and they're kids that we relate to, and they're connected with this coaching staff. And I think we're going to see a completely different energy from our football team.
Last one for you. Do you put a number on wins? How do you say year two was as successful as it could have been?
We want to win. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, there's no other thing in this game. You know, we signed up for this game. We want to win, and we want to win every week. And we're going to compete. We know we have a tough schedule. We know we're going to play a lot of close games. But at the end of the day, we want to show great improvement, and we want to be known as winners.
All right. All eyes are on this guy and the CSU Rams. Jay Norvell, appreciate you stopping by, brother.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.